Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Vigorelli, and this is Vigorelli Institute. I'm a millennial. I know. Shocker. Well, we're in our 30s now. Some of us are in our early 40s. In fact, the oldest one of us is 43. Well, I'm 40. And that means I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, came of age in the noughts, but I grew up in the 90s. I'm a 90s kid. One of my favorite cartoons to watch when I was 9, 10 years old, was it? Something like that. It was a show called ExoSquad. This was so cool. Okay, this was expertly made sci-fi, as far as I'm concerned, for kids. Okay, it takes place in a time after humans have colonized all the inner planets, and they're moving on to the gas giants. The moon's on the gas giants. Still working out the kinks on that one, but we're getting there. Okay. Venus has been terraformed. It's no longer a demon planet. It's basically a long persistent swamp. Okay. Nobody lives on Mercury because it's frickin' Mercury. And Mars is also kind of, sort of, ish terraformed. Okay? Well, during this process, humans realized that the Martian atmosphere wasn't good. Or barely even existent, for that matter. So, in order to get to the minerals that were on Mars, so they could, do their things on Earth, they created a new species called Neo-Sapiens. Okay? Basically took humans and changed them. Made them bigger, gave them better lungs, more strength, weird looking hands and feet, and basically bred a slave race. Good job, guys. Well, they gave them a little bit too much smarts, apparently. And the Neo-Sapiens rebelled on Mars. Okay? So they ousted all of the humans living there and declared Mars a free and independent nation. Okay? Well, the humans still controlled Venus and Earth. Now, there were a few Neo-Sapiens living on both of the other planets, but for the most part, whatever. Okay? Well, there was a big war, and the series starts off right at the close of that with the signing of a peace accord. Now, there was an individual named Phaeton, okay, who, by the way, all the Neo-Sapiens are named after people from Greek, Roman, Nordic, Christian, Jewish, etc. All of these mythologies, okay? And they're just single names, okay? Well, Phaeton decides he doesn't want peace. He wants the war. He wants to make the humans pay for creating them and enslaving them. So he decides to declare war again. So he gets a few of his brethren, if you will, and they rebel again. They invade Earth and basically conquer it. They invade Venus and conquer it. And then it begins this period of extermination regarding humans. Okay, and the humans are desperate to survive. Well, there's a ragtag group of people called I think exonauts is what they're called. And they've got these suits, okay? Big machine. Basically, it turns a person into a flying tank. It's able to go from ground to space without you dying. I'm not sure how, but it does. And it plugs into the back of your head so that all you have to do is think and use your hands, and you can do basically anything you want. Okay? Really, really cool little piece of technology. They actually made toys of this, and I had one. I had my favorite. His name was Wolf Bronsky. Big tank looking thing. So cool. Anyway, my favorite was JT, but he was the leader. but they didn't have that one that day. So I got Wolf. I was satisfied. Anyway, so these guys, the story focuses around them and the war. Okay, goes for about 2 seasons, and eventually, Phaeton is beaten. He actually contracts a genetic disease that causes his body to melt, I guess you would say. And he like freaks out. Anyway, the Neo-Sapiens perfect genetic technology, and they create a subspecies of them called Omegas, and these guys are like big brains, tiny bodies. And then they also take the standard Neo-Sapien and then modify the genome to include other species in it, like crabs, raptors, octopus, wolf, bird, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so they create these just chimeras, all right, and they use those as like shock troops and various other things. Big storyline about one batch not being done, so they release them anyway because they like need the troops to beat the humans or something. These things are terrifying. Okay. Anyway, excellent series. Okay. If you got the chance to find it, please do. Okay. You won't be sorry. Yes, it is primarily for kids, but it deals with a lot of very complicated moral and ethical ideas of, for example, is the creation of the Neo-Sapiens a good thing? Is revenge okay? Is just because someone helps you, does that make them your friend? What happens at the end of a war to hardened enemies? Is cloning okay? Yeah, cloning's a thing in there. Okay. There's one character, his name is Shiva. He dies like several times, and he keeps getting brought back. Okay, until the cloning facility is destroyed. And he's the last one. There's so much going on in there. They pull a lot from World War II. They pull from the Punic Wars. They pull from the American Civil War. And so many other conflicts throughout history that it actually sparked my desire to learn history as a kid. And I started getting into it. It was fun. It made me want to learn. Okay? So go ahead and check this one out. Highly recommend it. Now, about all I've got for you. So if you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, feel free to make fun of me. I don't care. You can also follow me on Twitter. Links are in the description. And if you pop by my website, feel free to go into my store. We've got merchandise available, like this thing back here. Okay, that's the flag of the Republic of Corsica. See? I've had that up for a while just because, well, I haven't wanted to change it. They're no longer the fabric flags. This is a fabric. I have instead transferred those over to posters, a little bit easier to manage. Got 2 sizes of them, or 1 size, I forget. Also got drinkware available, including water bottles and several other things. So, we'll be back later with something else, guys. Okay? You take care. Bye-bye.